I'm going to do a poem. I've always get to this point where I'm trying to figure out what poem to do. I'm going to do sort of 1.5 poems really quickly. The first one is called Kaina. And it's a Filipino word that sort of means like let's eat or delicious. And so here we go. There is so much untouched that we can all relish the devour and write its refrain into our poems, like how the ocean workshops the sand into its own design. The body is so far from the mouth, yet we can break the expanse and attach wings to our tongues to taste how the world seasons its story. The same way we do with words, and with words, there's enough masarap for us all to birth 1,000 novels about the same color. So let's drink ourselves full. Let's paint the world a different hue, a simple shade of beautiful, because there's enough stories held in just our fingertips to change the unimaginable. We are all poets. Thank you. That is the first one. And the second one I'll go through is called Purpose. I'm gonna try and recall this. I'm old, so sometimes I forget stuff. Purpose. I waited in the dimple of a cloud for a visit from an ancestor, a jazz singer, y'all, with almond eyebrows and stardust sprinkles for lips. She came to my thoughts dangling from a blade of grass. She had inverted knees and she told tales of walking backwards toward the beginning of journeys. She had messages scribed on the inside of her eyelids that only appeared when she blinked. She greeted me in the belly of an eclipse and breathed a breath of frozen orchid. She blinked and said, Tshaka, I've been waiting. I've been waiting silently in a hibernating hiatus, quietly, heavily heaving, heavy heights of honesty hidden in the wide open. I said, say word. She said, word. You've grown locks. You've changed your name and you track your experiences through shot glasses. Your desires scribbled in the center of glass ring stains on smoke-filled lounge tables. I said, say word. She said, word. Squinting, you can't see your destiny through the smoke. And with magnified pupils and opposite magnetic poles, your blood flows from south to north and your soul flushes clockwise. I said, say word. And she said, word. She blinked and said, but I can see you clearly in volumes with heightened senses and blood-curdling visions in the hearts of chakras. I can recite the pitch of your heartbeat and affix its taste to my ribs. She said, when you gave birth to gentle breezes, you were not too much unlike me. You see, you floated the heavens wearing black on the outside, magenta blue on the top side in plain view. Humanity accolades patted in the brim of velvet berets thrown at your feet from a backdrop of post-performance spotlight applause. She said, you are painted in the foreground of cubes, creating shadows that whispered in Picasso's left ear. You groomed sandstorms and wrote novels in mental hieroglyphics carved in waterfalls. You are August in the winter and orbit the moon in December. I said, say word. And she said, word, but this means, Tshaka, that you have a reason, a purpose, a reason to open closed eyelids, to echo infinity in the air of a parabola, a reason to set clocks to the movements that mirror choice, a reason to map pathways to human intervention, to defy convention, to evaporate elliptical complacency measured in the mathematics of ancient geometry. Now, y'all, I tried not to pay attention, right? But I couldn't help but place my ears on her shoulders and my mouth on her forearm, trying to capture fallen metaphors and mistaken clauses, making mental portraits with pencil shavings bound around future intentions. You see, I waited for that moment right outside of proposition, but it never came. She blew me a kiss that landed on my tongue. In the emptiness of her departure, a baby's heartbeat began to grow in my mouth. It stretched my tongue and began grabbing at my throat, tearing at my vocal cords. It gave form to a female voice, a daughter of speech that grew to puberty within my opinions and emerged through my lips. In a puff of air, she named herself poetry. In a puff of air, she named herself poetry, and she sent me a message through the wind that said, if you now understand your purpose, say word. And I said, word. Thank you.